start today's class laying down on your back, and you'll have your knees bent and your feet flat. You'll reach your arms up and back behind you, palms are facing up. Then you'll pull your elbows wide and down to your sides with a lat pull. You'll stretch your arms back overhead, and then you'll pull your arms down to your sides, curling your head, neck, and chest up. So it's a two-part movement. You bring your arms up as your head comes down. You pull your elbows. You stretch your arms, and then you curl, bringing your hands down to your hips. Bring it back. And you'll do this 6 more times. Pulling, stretching, curling. And as you pull your elbows wide and down, allow your chest to stretch and open. And then as you curl yourself up, you're trying to articulate top of the head down to the bottom ribs. Articulating on the way down and then pulling. 5 more. I think adding in the lat pull before the ab curl feels kind of nice. I notice that it gives me a little bit more range of motion because I'm getting the stretch before I go into the work. 3 more times. At the top of your curl, stretch your arms forward. Instead of letting your hands press all the way down, feel yourself lengthening towards your feet. That should also help you stay out of the neck, hopefully. 2. Last one, all the way through. Pull and curl. Now we'll just do the arms and the head, adding in an alternating leg lift. So your arms pull down, your head, neck, and chest lifts up. One leg comes up into a tabletop. It doesn't matter which one. You bring it down, other side. Left leg comes up. Down and switch. And because you're alternating those legs, there's quite a bit of stabilization in your hips going on. 2 more sets. Right. Also noticing it a little bit more in the shoulders and the chest since my arms have been moving for a little bit longer. 1 more set. On this next one, you'll hold it at the top. So your arms are pulled down, your right leg is lifted. You'll reach your arms and your leg away from each other and then pull in. You reach, pull, and you want to keep your chest lifted as much as possible. So moving your arms and your leg doesn't change the amount of lift in the chest. 3, make sure you're breathing. 2, pull. Last one, pull in and hold it. Now grab onto your right knee, pulling your knee into your chest a little more. Your left leg reaches out and up to 45 degrees. So you're in a single leg stretch. Now switch your legs. Switch, switch, switch. 6 more sets. 5, if you need to bring your head down, that's fine. 4, try to keep your chin to your chest. 3, 2, 1 more. And you'll hug your knees in, relax your legs down, relax your head down. Take a second. We'll go into your other side. So your arms are reaching up and back to start. You'll pull your arms down, curl your head, neck, and chest, lift your left leg into your tabletop. Again, arms and leg reach away and pull. 7. You can keep the arms down by your sides if you need to. The breath is a big component of this. Breathe into your back bottom ribs. More than breathing into your front where you're contracted, try to breathe into the back, widening as you inhale. 2, last one, bring it in. Again, hug your left knee. Try to lift your chest a little higher. We'll do the same thing as we did on the first side. Your right leg now reaches out and up to 45 degrees. Now switch your legs. Switch, switch, switch. 6, almost there. 5, you can do it. 4, try to keep your chest up. 3, last 2, and 1 more time, side to side. Nice job. Bring it in. Bring your feet down. Relax your head, neck, and chest. From here, arms reach back behind you. Point your toes. Point your ankles and your toes so your heels lift up off the floor. Now squeeze your legs together. Bring your legs up into a tabletop. Try to do that as a unit. As your legs lift up, your arms come up to the ceiling above your chest. So you'll double tap your toes down as your arms reach back behind you, then bring everything back up. Your head is staying down. Your goal is to keep your spine long. So you're not moving your legs because you're rocking at the pelvis. You're moving your legs because you're hinging at the hips. You're lengthening the hip and then folding at the hip. 3, 2, good, one more. Bring it up. Now we hold it here. Right leg reaches out to 45 degrees. Left arm reaches back behind you. Bring it back in. 7 more just this one side. Reach, pull. 6. Again, stabilizing the back. Actively press the back of your head into the floor underneath you. Feel your back body working. And also, not just working, but emphasizing the length, the intentional length. 1 more, bring it in. Now, your arms pull down, you curl your head, neck, and chest up. Arms come up, head comes down. Keep going, 7 more. Arms down, you curl. So it just feels a little bit different curling the chest with your legs up in your tabletop. You're not letting the knees pull in towards you as you curl, but you are keeping them above the hips. So you might feel like they're drawing in a little bit. You definitely might feel work at the front of your hips, your hip flexors, because your hips are in flexion right now. 3 more. 2. Really emphasizing the work at the mid-back, the movement at the mid-back, more specifically. Last 1 all the way through. Arms up, head down. Now, left leg reaches out, right arm reaches back. Pull it in. 7. Even though I'm moving my left leg, I am feeling work on the right side. And specifically, I'm feeling the work at the front of the hip flexor, because my left leg is getting a chance to stretch, but my right side is staying in that fold. 2, good, 1 more. Bring it in. Now again, arms press down, curl your head, neck, and chest up. We go for a double leg stretch. You'll reach your arms and legs, then circle your arms and pull your knees in. So you reach, circle, pull. Reach, circle, pull. As you circle your arms, you're stabilizing the pelvis. 4, 3, circle, pull. 2, lots of stabilization happening. Last 1. Hug your knees into your chest. Relax your head down. Take a gentle rock side to side. Lots of ab work to start. We'll roll ourselves up from here. Reach your legs out away from you. Stretch your arms back. You might want to take a second in that stretch just to enjoy it a little bit. And then we roll up. Arms pull down. Chin to chest. Curl yourself up and over your legs. And you can let your arms release down. You can take that stretch for a moment. Maybe letting your head hang heavy. Take 1 more breath. All right, round yourselves up. And you can sit with your legs out in front of you, or you could sit cross-legged. You could also put something underneath you if that's better for your hips and your low back. You want to be as upright as possible rather than rounding the spine or leaning forward too much. We'll go into a wide row. Your arms are reaching straight out in front of you, palms are facing down towards the floor. And in order to stay upright, you might feel like you're kind of leaning into it a little bit. That's okay. And this is mostly based on sensation, right? So if you can't see yourself, if you don't have a mirror to give yourself the reference of whether you're leaning forward or back, just know that in order to stay upright, it might feel like you're leaning forward a little. And you're leaning forward from the front of the hips. You're folding at your hips in order to maintain the upright posture. For your wide row, your elbows pull wide and back. That's it. You stretch forward, you pull back. And as you pull your elbows back, again, you're kind of pitching the whole torso forward, but now you're really pressing the rib cage forward as well. And that will allow your shoulder blades to squeeze together so that we can feel this in our backs. That's where we're trying to feel this in the body, is in the back between the shoulder blades. So kind of upper, mid back. 3, 2, then we add on. 1 more, now we add on. So you'll pull your elbows wide and back to your row. You'll rotate your palms forward. You'll rotate your palms down, then you'll stretch back away. So you pull, rotate, stretch. We want this to go into the back of the shoulders as much as we can. Lots of back body work. And this is your rotator cuff, as well as the spine extensors, the muscles of the back that keep us standing upright or just upright in posture rather than rounding forward. So these muscles go all the way along the spine on either side. 2, 1 more. Now pull your elbows back, rotate your palms forward. We hold it here. You'll take your hands behind your head. The elbows kind of lift up a little bit to get your hands behind you. Then bring yourself back out to your goal post. Hands behind your head and open. So the elbows lift and your hands pull together. The hands pull apart, the elbows draw down. Elbows up, hands in, elbows down, hands out. Move from the elbows. It's a little weird. 3, and it definitely will work the top of the shoulders. Breathe. Inhale up, exhale down. Let the shoulders naturally lift a little bit. Let's do 2 more. Okay, 1 more. Great, now take your hands behind your head, hold it here, and actually take your hands physically behind your head. We'll go into a spine twist. So while you're here, you do want to feel the work continuing in the shoulders and the back. We don't want that to be so much work that it tightens up our low back. So if you're noticing so much tightness along the back that you feel rigidity or stiffness in the low back, you might want to bend your knees and come into a cross-leg position or sit up on something, because we want to have tightness, not tightness, but activation of the upper back muscles, but more of a softness and release in the lower back muscles. So that's just kind of a quick note while you're in this position, is make it work for your body. You don't have to be in any one seated position. You could even sit in a chair on the edge of a bed or couch or something if that's better for you here. All right, so again, lots of work in the upper back, lots of work in the shoulders. We twist. You'll twist to the left. As you twist, keep the work in your upper back. So press your chest forward, squeeze your shoulder blades together. And we'll pulse that 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now bring it back to center, sit up tall. Other side, twist, 2, 3, center, sit up tall. Twist, 2, 3, center, sit up tall. It's not about how big you're making it, it's about isolating the rib cage from the pelvis. And that's a lot harder to actually do than it is to say. So if the hips do move a little bit, know that that's okay, it does happen, but we're trying to keep the hips stable while the rib cage is what's moving along the axis of the spine. Think about getting taller as you twist. Still pressing your head back into your hands, and move your pelvis in the opposite direction of the rib cage. Let's do 1 more set. Exhale, 2, 3, inhale, exhale, 2, 3, inhale. Nice job. Arms stretch forward, palms are facing in. You have an alternating low row with a twist. So you're still rotating your spine, but you're adding in a movement of the arms now. Maybe the range of motion can get a little bit bigger. Maybe you can sit a little taller. Switch and switch. 5 more sets. Can you press your chest forward a little bit more? Can you squeeze your shoulder blades together a little tighter? 4 more sets. Think about the arm that's stretching forward just as much as the elbow that's pulling back. That might give you a little more twist, a little bit more juice out of the spine. 2 more. Switch, last set, switch, and switch. Nice job. Arms release forward, then you can bring them down. Give your shoulders a second, and then we'll lay down on our backs for a bridge. So you'll have your knees bent again. Your feet are a little bit wider than your hips. A little bit wider, and then a little bit turned out as well. So your toes are a little bit to the diagonals. You want your knees and your toes in the same rotation. So however turned out your toes are, the knees are that much turned out as well. You want your feet to be flat. So if there's any kind of angling of the feet, change the rotation a little bit so you can get your feet to be pressing flat and your knees to be at the same angle of the toes. You'll lift your hips up. No need to articulate. Bring your hips back down. Press down into your feet. Lift up. Try to get the pelvis really high up towards the ceiling. If possible, stretch and lengthen entirely at the front of the hips. So you hinge, you fold down, you lengthen, you stretch up. Down, up. 4. You're definitely trying to get the pelvis higher than the rib cage. 2. This is where having your hair in a ponytail or bun can get a little tricky. 1 more all the way through. Now bring it down. We're going to change the feet a little bit so that you're on your heels now. Your toes pull up. You're really folded and flexed at the ankle. Same thing. Lift up. Tap the sacrum and hips down. Push. The goal in pressing into your heels is to feel a little bit more work in the seat. Now, one thing I'll say, and I mentioned the hair being kind of tricky here. It's not just in terms of comfort. One of the things you want to do when you're in a bridge is actively press the back of your head into the floor, keeping your neck long. So having something underneath you, like your hair, a pillow, can get in the way of that. You do want to feel the neck staying long. The more length you can keep in your neck, the higher you'll be able to get your pelvis, the more work you'll be getting in your seat. And that's the goal. The more extension in your hips, the more you'll be able to activate the posterior chain. So definitely be mindful of where your hair is. If you have anything underneath your head, that is going to make an impact in this exercise, even if it's small. 3, 2, last one, all the way through. Good. Now hold it at the top. You'll pulse your knees out 1 time, then lift your hips up 1 time. It's out, up, out, up. Focus on the pelvis moving rather than the rib cage. 4, still thinking about maintaining the length at the back of the neck. 3, 2, yeah, last one. Now just pulse out, out. 7, 6, 5. Try to keep your hips lifted. 3, 2. Now hold your knees out and pulse your hips up, up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we can articulate. Slowly bring your hips all the way down. Nice job. Now you'll turn onto your left side. We'll go into your right side of single leg work, starting in a side laying position. We'll start your single leg work with a clam. You'll lift your feet up to the back diagonal. Your feet are together. So with your feet together, just kind of angle them up a little bit. It doesn't need to be a lot. And as you lift your feet up, you're keeping your hips stacked. So you're not like tilting the pelvis to get your feet up. So the range of motion for everyone will be a little bit different. And you also keep your bottom knee on the floor. So you're not trying to like lift your bottom leg up. You're just kind of giving your feet a slight angle. You'll keep your bottom knee down. You rotate your top knee open and up. You lower down, you lift up. And one of the things you can think about is trying to come into a butterfly stretch. So when your knee is down, the inside of the feet are together. And then when you rotate your top knee open, you're trying to bring the soles of your feet together. So it's the insides of the feet, then the soles of the feet. 4, 3, 2 more times. Last one. Now we add on. So you find your clam. Once you're in your clam, you rotate your feet and your knees to parallel. So your thigh bones come into a parallel, which means that your knees will point forward and your feet will come apart. You'll bring it back into your clam. So you'll rotate your knees open, your feet come back together, and then you release. So it goes clam, parallel, clam, release. You're still trying to keep your pelvis still. So none of these movements are happening because you're rocking the hips. Just the thigh bones moving in the hip sockets. And you'll feel this in your outer upper hip on both sides. I'm actually feeling this quite a bit on my bottom side right now, but you can feel this in both sides. These are the muscles that rotate the legs, and both legs are rotating. Technically. So both legs are rotating parallel to turn out. 2 more. Turn out, release, last one. Release, now find your clam and pulse it 16 times down, up. 13, 12. Focus on squeezing your shoulder blades together, keeping your spine long. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax down. Everything releases down. We'll now transition to a kneeling lunge. So you have your right foot forward, your left knee is underneath your hip, and you'll start arms down by your sides. Tuck your left toes under. Now press into your right foot. Think of your bridge that you did a moment ago. Float your knees up. Tap down. That's it. So you float, tap. Float, tap. Do your best. So if it doesn't happen very much or at all, that's okay. 4, 3. You're pressing flat into your right foot. 2. 1 more. Now bring it down. Your arms come to a goalpost. You'll go into a lat pull, shoulder press. It's kind of the same thing. It's just whatever you're emphasizing. You inhale, reach up. You exhale, pull down. So if you're emphasizing the push up, that's the shoulder press. If you're emphasizing the pull down, it's your lat pull. You push up, you pull down. 5. Try to keep your weight in your right foot. 3, 2, 1 more. Elbows pull down. Arms come together and apart. Every time you pull your arms apart, press down into your right foot a little harder. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more. Arms release down. Now press into your left toes, press into your right foot, float yourself up. You want your weight primarily in your right foot, so if you're feeling a lot of weight in the back foot, step it in just a little bit closer. Bend into both of your knees, little pulses down and up. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now come all the way up. Okay. At the top, push your hips forward a little bit. Squeeze your seat, lengthen the hips as much as you can. Now bend into both knees, come down as low as you can. So it might not be a lot, it might come all the way to the floor. That's up to you. You want to still keep as much weight as possible in your right foot. We have 7 more. You lift up, lower, down. 6. Still trying to keep your weight in your right foot, so you might have to adjust your left foot in a little bit more. There is a stretch happening at the front of your left thigh. So if you're feeling a lot of a stretch, that's not necessarily what you're trying to avoid. You're just trying to avoid your weight pulling or sitting back. It doesn't mean that you're not going to feel anything happening in the left side. It's just that you don't want it to feel like you're doing most of the loading into that side. You want the loading to be mostly in the right side, and then you're getting a stretching of the left leg. And stretching can feel like quite a bit of work. It is a bit of work. So it's not that you're not feeling anything, it's just that you want the load, the pushing, to be coming from the front foot. 4 more. 3. Chest stays open. Last 1. Okay, now bring it down. You have something called a crossed over lunge. So from the front, my right leg crosses over. That's it. It went from here to here, here to here. Just that one thing makes a huge difference. Think of your clam. Your right leg just came into a clam. So you're pressing open. You're pushing down into your foot. Think of that butterfly, soles of the feet together, right? Knee open. From here, you lift up. The tops of the thighs squeeze together. Now lower down. Same thing. You want the work to be mostly, the load to be pushing down mostly into the front right foot. So you might need to step your back left foot in a little bit closer again. So lift up, find your alignment, squeeze the hips and thighs, lower down. There we go. 6, 5. Press into your big right toe, but press the knee towards the outer pinky edge. 2. Good. Last 1. Whew, bring it down. Now, you'll come into a tabletop. So your hands come down to the floor. Your left knee stays under your hip. Your right leg now swings back and up into a hamstring curl. Find your neutral pelvis, and then we circle the right leg in your tabletop or in your hamstring curl. So it comes down, out to the side, up, down, out to the side, up. Or whichever direction you went in first. Keep your left hip pulled in over the knee. And you can have your left toes tucked under or long. Whatever gives you more stability. 2, and 1 more this direction. Now reverse it. So you lift. Open out to the side, lower. Press into your hands. Feel the work through the shoulders and your back. 5, 4. You're trying to increase your range of motion just a tiny little bit each time. 3, 2. Yep, last 1. And down. You'll stretch your right leg back. Now from here, you'll bring your right leg down onto the floor. Turn your body and open out to the side. You'll now go into a side bend sequence. For your side bend, push your hips forward. Then, lifting up through your right side, bring yourself head over tail. You'll side bend over, then lift up. 6 more times. Push into your right foot as much as you can. And also rotate your right hip forward a little bit. The hips tend to want to rotate open or sit back, so you have to kind of counteract both of those patterns. 2 more. Last 1. Hold it over to the side. Now from here, your left arm lifts out to the side. So left arm to the side, right arm to the ceiling. You'll reach the left arm out to the side. You'll reach your right arm up to the ceiling. It's a really small movement in both directions. It's side, up, side, lift. Keep pressing into your right foot as much as you can. 4, 3, last 2, and 1 more time. Lift it up. You'll take it back all the way over to the side and into a tabletop again. Now, your left leg reaches back. Right arm stretches forward. You'll pull your arm and leg together, then reach everything away. Pull in, reach out. In, out. 5, 4, last 3, 2, more time. Everything pulls in. Now your hips sit back to your heels. Take your hands up, press into your shins, and press your hips forward. So it's a hip hinge. You're pulling your hips back, you're pushing your hips forward. And again, you can decide if you want your feet to be long or if you want your toes to be tucked under. And they're both beneficial, so it's just kind of depending on what works best and what you're working on personally. 4, 3, lengthen at the top. 2, one more time, lift and hold. Now, keep your hips pushed forward. Hinge back from the knees. Lift back up. Hinge back, lift up. So now you're stretching the thighs. You can think about squeezing your heels towards your butt while you're here, so you are kind of doing a hamstring curl, even though it might not seem like it. If you think about it, it might help your range of motion and your stability a little bit, because technically that is what's going on if you were to just kind of like flip it into a different orientation. 2, last one. Now lift it up. Arms reach overhead. From here, you'll lean back. As you lift up, you'll lift the arms, open, twist towards the right. You lift, lean back, open to the right. Lean back, open, right. 2 more times. Back, open, last one. Back and open. Let's reverse directions. So now you open left. It's kind of like that spine twist we did earlier. 3, 2, last one. You'll bring your arms back overhead, round down, and come into a tabletop. Rotate your fingers in towards each other just a little bit. Then you'll bend your elbows wide, arching your spine, looking forward. Extend your arms, round up. You bend, arch, look forward, extend, round it up. 6. And the movement is coming from your entire back, head, rib cage, and pelvis all together. 5, 4, 3 more. Last one. You'll sit back on your heels, round yourself up, and turn onto your right side, laying down so we can go into your left side single leg work. Going into your clams from here, you'll lift your feet up to the back diagonal. Remember, it's your feet that are lifting, not your bottom knee. Your bottom knee stays down on the floor. Then rotate your left knee open. As you rotate open, lengthen your spine. Lower down, lift up. 6 more times. You almost feel like you're tipping your pelvis forward a little bit, because we tend to tuck our tail under when we go into our clam, which can strain the low back and a lot of the muscles in the glutes. So you do want to feel like you're keeping the length there rather than letting yourself tuck. 1 more, then we add on. So you have 1 clam. You rotate to parallel, knees point forward, feet come apart. Bring it back to your clam, release. 7, parallel, clam, release. 6. And even on this second side, I'm feeling a lot of the work in the bottom leg, which is counterintuitive. Most of the time when we do these exercises, we feel them in the top working leg. But now I'm feeling it a lot in the stabilizing working leg. Nothing bad, nothing wrong with that, just different. 2 more. Last one. Whew. And we find our clam, pulse it 16 times. Open, open. Both sides are working. You're only seeing one side moving. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, shoulder blades together, 2, tailbone back and up. Last one, release it down. Ha, it wasn't a lot, but it did its job. Now turn and find your kneeling lunge. So you have left foot forward, knee over ankle. Right leg back, knee under hip. Start by tucking your right toes under, shifting your weight forward and down into your left foot. Rise up just a little bit, lower down, keep going. Up, down, it's small. Push your pelvis forward, find as much length at the front of your right thigh as you can. There is a lot of a stretch, so if you're feeling the work in the right side, stretching the hip all the way down to the front of the knee, that's what you're going for. Do what you can. 2, and 1 more, bring it down. Okay, we're here for a second. And know that if your toes are tucked under, you are stretching more at the front of your hip, so you'll feel that work a little bit more as well. Arms out to your goalpost, you reach up, you pull down. 7, try to keep your weight in your left foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one, pull down, arms come in and apart. Working through the back, but also thinking about the lower body. 4. Also thinking about stretching the front of the right hip. You're there in the stretch, so why not get as much out of it as possible? 2, 1 more. Arms come in, release them down. Hover up, little pulses. The weight is shifting forward and down into the left foot. My hips are pushing forward. The front of my right thigh is lengthening. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up. Adjust your back foot a little bit if you need to, then lower down as much as you can. So if you're not just like dumping and collapsing down, you might come to the floor, you might not. Up, down, but you want to be in control of it the whole time. And you don't want to be compensating by hinging a lot. So if you're coming down to the floor because you're hinging at the hips a lot, try not to come down quite as far so you can stay more upright and maintain the length and the stretch at the front of your hip down to the knee. 3, 2, 1 more. Good, bring it down. You have that crossed over lunge. So from the front, my left side crosses over. Lots more balance to deal with now. Hips are staying squared. Think of your clam. You're pressing your left knee open while pushing the bottom of your foot down. Lift up. Adjust your feet if you need to. Feel your hips and thighs squeezing in, then lower down. Up. 7, 6. My right knee's pointing down. It's not a curtsy, so you're not letting the knee open out to the side. 3, 2, 1 more time. Whew, bring it down. Find your tabletop. Swing your left leg up and behind you into a hamstring curl. Now circle. Down, out to the side, around and up. Down, out to the side, up. 6. Definitely stabilizing the pelvis a lot. Stabilizing the shoulders as well. But my pelvis is what's wanting to move. And I'm trying just to move the thigh bone in the hip socket. 2. While making that range of motion as complete and kind of, I don't want to say big, but I want to push into the end range. I'm really trying to find how far I can get the leg, and then if I can just push it a little further, just a tiny bit. Now we reverse directions. Down, out, up, or whichever way you haven't already gone. Good. 4. Feel the head lengthening through the shoulders. 2. Pressing into the hands. 1 more. Release it down. Left leg reaches back. You rotate on your right knee. open, out to the side, and we are ready for our side bend. Going into your side bend, push your hips forward. Then lifting through your left side, bring yourself up, head over tail. Push into your left foot. Use that to both ground you and to activate the entire side line of your body. You stretch over, you lift up. 6 more times. As you stretch over to the side, your left hip is staying down. It is not coming with you. So you're getting longer and then shorter on the left side. Stretching, contracting. It's rib away from hip, rib towards the hip. 2 more. Lift, last one. And lift. Now take it over to the side. Your left arm is reaching up. Your right arm lifts out to the side. Keep your hips pushing forward. You lift. Side, up, side, up. 6 more times. It's super small. You're staying on your side rather than rounding towards the floor or opening towards the ceiling. 3. Keep pushing into your left foot. 2. Good job. 1 more time. Bring it side and all the way up. Now turn back into your tabletop. So both of your knees come back together. You rotate towards the floor. You'll reach your opposite now, right leg back. Left arm reaches forward. Pull everything in, reach everything away. You pull, reach. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more time. Everything comes in. You're back in your tabletop. We'll go into a spine wave. You'll round your spine to start. Then bring your head down, bending your elbows. Now lengthen through your spine and press yourself up. So you round to bend, you lengthen to stretch. Round, bend, lengthen, stretch. 5, 4, 3, 2 more, then we're reversing directions. Remember to move the pelvis with the rest of the spine. Everything moves together. Reverse it. So you lengthen your spine to bend. You round your spine to press. Lengthen, bend, round, press. Lengthen, bend, round, press. Lengthen, bend, round. 4 more times. Flowing it as much as you can. 3. Should feel kind of nice. 2. Last 1. Sit back to your heels. Lift yourself up. And we have another set of those hinges. So you sit your hips back, you push up. Sit, push. 6, 5. It's straight back, straight forward. Press through your shins. Open the seat. Squeeze the seat. Squeeze. 2. 1 more. Now we'll do one-sided. So I'll turn to the front for this one. Start by sitting into your left side. Left hip sits back towards your heel. Then press through your left shin, back up to center. We'll just do that one side 7 more times. Back to the left, up center. Back left, up center. 5. So the goal is that you feel a little bit more work in the left side because you're weighted on that side. 3, 2, 1 more. Let's pulse it. Down, left, little pulses, up, down. So it's a slow, kind of big pulse. Up halfway, down. Up halfway, down. 3. It's a lot of knee flexion. So if this is challenging for you, you could do this not on your shin, but standing instead. Last one. Now push all the way up. Whoo. Let's take it to the right side. Sit back to the right. Up, center, right, center, 6. It's intention. You have to press into the right leg to get it to activate. 3, 2, last one. Let's pulse it. Up halfway, down. Up halfway, down. Squeeze your seat, open the seat. 5, 4, kind of like you're winking an eyeball. 3, 2, and 1 more. Push all the way up. We'll go into a combination. Your arms stretch up to transition. We'll go into a plank. So round yourself forward, walk yourself out, and find a plank. The combo goes. Start in your plank, bend your elbows, chaturanga. Come all the way down to your stomach. And you could do that down on your knees if you need to as well. Now untuck the toes, press into your hands, rise up. Lower down. Press back up to your plank. Tuck your toes, lift up. Now walk your hands back, inchworm, come up to stand. Bring it back out into your plank and start over. Bring it down, walk it out. You're in your plank. You'll have 7 more. Chaturanga down. Untuck your toes, press up. Lower down. Tuck your toes, plank, inchworm back. And stand. Inchworm out. And start it over. Down. Up. Down. Up. Walk it back. And walk it out. 5 more. Lift. Everything is working together. 4 more, 2 more sets. That chaturanga is tricky. It's a lot of work on your abdominals. Squeeze your elbows into your sides. Feel the triceps working. Anytime you're squeezing your arms in and it's a narrow position with the elbows, the triceps do a little bit more work. Almost there. This is your last set. All the way through. Last time. Walk it in. Nice job. You'll walk it out and bring it down to your stomach. Whew, untuck your toes. Press into your hands. Lift up. Lower down. You lift up and lower. You're lengthening in both directions. As you lift, your front body lengthens. As you lower, your back body is lengthening. 4, triceps are working. Remember, your elbows are pulled into your sides, so the side of your arms is going to be doing that work. That's where the triceps are, the sides of the arms. 2. Last one. Bring it down. Your arms open out to the sides. You'll squeeze your arms into your sides, lift your chest. Open, squeeze, lift. 6, 5, and it's a little bit harder getting the chest to lift without your arms to help you. So you're trying to use the sides, the lats. 2, 1 more. Bring it down. Hands under shoulders. Bring your legs into a froggy. So you're bending your knees, heels together, toes apart. Ankles are flexed, press your heels up. Up. And you're stabilizing the pelvis. You're not letting it rock as the legs go up. 4, 3, 2. Now hold your legs up. Point your ankles and toes. We rotate the lower body. The shoulders are staying square. You'll use your arms quite a bit to help you. Press into the arm. Lift that side of the pelvis up. Bring it over to the side. Now slowly, with control, bring it back down. Other side. Press into the arm, open the hip. Bring it back down. And you're articulating back down. So you open, hip to hip, then lower, hip to hip, hip to hip, hip to hip. 2 more sets. Sometimes you get a really nice adjustment in your back doing this one, depending on where your tightness is. You might get a pop. Oop, I got a little one. 1 more side to side, slow and controlled. And switch. Nice job. Bring it center. Release your legs away. Tuck your toes under. Squeeze your elbows into your sides. Lift yourself up and press yourself into a plank. Now we have a pike. Down to your plank. Elbow, elbow. Palm, palm. And you could do that down on your knees if you need to. Pike. Down, down. Up, up. Pike. Down, down. Up, up. Down, down. Up, up. 2 more sets. Keep the length in your neck. Feel the head reaching through. 1 more set. Last one. Hold it up. Bend your knees. Pull your hips back to your heels. Look forward. Press. Back. Push. 6. This could be on your knees. 4. Stretch your knees. 3. 2. 1 more. Press it forward. Float your right leg up. Pulse it. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Sit it back. Other side, then you're done. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Hold your plank. 10. 9. 8. You're done after this. Keep going. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Nice job. Knees down. Hips back. Take a child's pose. 2 breaths. Nice job. 1 more. Let it go. Round yourselves up and find anywhere that's comfortable to sit. We'll just do a couple stretches to cool down. Roll your shoulders back. Maybe close your eyes, soften your gaze. Roll your shoulders forward. Two times, lift your shoulders up. Drop 1 more. Drop, circle your head. Reverse directions, letting your mouth and jaw relax. Back to center. Once you're there, inhale, open, reach your arms up. Bend your elbows wide, press your arms back, bring it all the way down. And you are done. Take a moment to thank yourself for showing up today, mentally and physically. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time.